youngest and only girl of 4 kids. She was born Charlotte Mudoola to Lieutenant Colonel Chris Mudoola and Mrs. Imichimboa Mudoola in Chigudu North Uganda district. From the length in the name, you can smell the Roman Catholic Church all the way from the Vatican. From the nature of it, she is a lioness, born a Leo and 2nd August. Growing up among boys meant that Charlotte was to play lots of sport, and it didn't help that she grew up around many people. Hers was a childhood of games and fun with family, relatives and cousins. She attended boarding school, but that didn't seem to tame her. Football, track, volleyball, if it was sporting, Charlotte was there. She credits and equally blames her bigger brother Timothy Mudoola for her sporting side of life, and he got her in trouble too. Anyway, what are siblings for? Like many in infancy, football was Mudoola's first love, and with a definite huge crush on Manchester United's David Beckham, the number 7 shirt was hers to don every time she was on the football pitch. For O-level, she enrolled to Mountain St. Mary's College Namagunga, a college that gave her the liberty to be the sporting queen she was born to be. She was part of the famous Namagunga VCM team while there, and she played football, basketball, volleyball, lawn tennis, and was a runner too. Charlotte was so good at sports that she was awarded Sports Girl of the Year in just senior 2, which was a record that no one from that class had ever achieved, as it was mostly achieved by senior 5s and senior 4s. Enter rugby. Well, it was meant to be. Timothy, then a student at Namigango College, introduced the game to the Mudoola house. A culture was picked up by Fred Mudoola too. Forget what he looks like now. Charlotte swears Fred was another sports knucklehead, good at boxing, football, and could run faster than Timothy. Fred picked up rugby too, and Charlotte had 2 bigger brothers with love for the oval ball. In the Mudoola house, Saturday was rugby day. The 2 boys bullied everyone into watching rugby, and the remote was a no-go zone. Charlotte admits that she hated it at first. She however kept watching, claiming that she had no option. Little did she know that she was picking up basics of the game as she went along. When she enrolled at Vienna College for A-level, she looked out for football and basketball until a one Martin Karujogo, who knew Fred and Timothy, invited her to try out for rugby, being a Mudoola. And so it began. She trained with the boys' team at Vienna until she sat her finals. While waiting for her university days to start though, Timothy gave her information about women's rugby at Chadondo Rugby Club, asking her to try out. Going to Chadondo, she met with her very first coach, Jim Park, rest in peace, and Helen Butemi, and this began her illuminated rugby career.
I first met Charlotte Mudoola in 2003. She was in her S6 back in December, and she joined rugby with prior knowledge, unlike most of the girls in Uganda at that time. And she had been playing rugby in Vienna College in her Form 5 and 6. It was Martin Karugojo who introduced her to the game, and she was playing with the boys, full contact rugby. And so she came and joined Thunderbirds, which was the first women's team in Uganda, which I had formed together with Rebecca Kwenya and Anne Sizomo.
Chadondo-based Thunderbirds were Charlotte's first team, and she got more and more rugby action so quick than she anticipated. Then she says women's rugby was on a high and very successful, and it was competitive because everyone worked hard and trained hard to be on the first team. No one wanted to be on the second team. Charlotte got to represent Uganda and play against Rwanda, and often had tournaments in Kenya like the Kabeberi Sevens, and took a lot of pride in beating Kenya. The determination finally bore fruit when in 2008 the Lady Crane Sevens qualified for the World Cup in 2009 in Dubai. It was the first time to qualify for a World Cup in Uganda.
Milestones from that moment on, women's rugby just exploded. We had, from Thunderbirds, we had the national team where we played against Rwanda, then eventually Kenya. Then we had, we traveled to Kenya for several tournaments, Kabeberi Sevens, Safari Sevens, which we won. Then there was the World Cup in 2009, where we made history by becoming the first team from Uganda to qualify for a World Cup.
In her illustrious rugby career, she has featured for the Black Pirates second side too. True story. Currently, she turns out for the Giordino-sponsored Black Pearls and the FRN Elite International Team 7s, an invitational team with whom she has done tours. Charlotte is the captain of the Lady Crane Sevens team.
Then additionally, we had the 15-a-sides World Cup qualifier game in South Africa in 2013. And for all these milestones, we were teammates. Like at the World Cup, I was the captain. Then in 2014, I retired from playing and became a coach. So the milestones we hit along the way were, I guess you could say, the Hong Kong qualifiers, where Charlotte was the captain of the team, and it was our first time to play on the big stage in 10 years. Then Charlotte has also had opportunities to play for international invitational teams. She's played in Dubai and Barbados, and the team she played for was Fine Rugby now, and that was a team I played for when I was in Europe, and I recommended Charlotte to them. When she went to Dubai, she did so well, so they invited her to go to Barbados, and amongst the teams she played with the Canadian and American development sides, and Charlotte played several positions. They were really surprised that she could play in the forwards because she was really small. She was the smallest in the team and probably in the tournament as well. But she's one of those players who's very flexible, very adaptable to playing in different roles. It's down to her experience and then just to her single-minded determination. Charlotte will hit the gym. She can bench press 60 kilos, squat like 100 kilos, deadlift over 100 kilos. So yeah, she's one of those players who goes through she lasts the test of time, and I guess that's why she's been able to play through 2 decades, you could say, and still play at a very high level, and she's not about to stop now.
She credits rugby for teamwork, discipline, respect, and good sportsmanship, which are the core values of the game, plus leadership, which she says has been influential in her life and in her career. Charlotte is the intellectual property brand ambassador, best employee for one of the office branches. That's the head branch in Arua regional office, which at the time won best regional office.
My dream is to make women's rugby in Uganda great again. And I've had so many people asking me, when are you retiring? You've played for long. Well, my answer to your question is my job is not yet done. At the moment, women's rugby in Uganda is still struggling, and there's still so much to be done. The passion to play and work hard is not there anymore, and rugby has changed, and there's so much involved that other than just one having the experience and talent. So I want to be an example to other players by playing and training with them, and to show them that we need to work hard. One needs to work hard. You don't have to just rely on just talent and experience. You need to put in the extra effort. You need to go to the gym. You need to run, do your extra personal workouts, so that you, as a player, you excel in whatever you do. And even as you're doing this, you're enjoying yourself as you play and even as you train. And that's something that's lacking right now. And I believe with my experience, I can actually instill this in the immense talent that's coming into women's rugby in Uganda. We need to lead by example to these players, and that's what I want to do as an experienced player. And I just hope all the other experienced players actually join me in this endeavor. Let's compete against these young girls. Let's show them that they need to work hard and put in the effort. Let's work extra hard so that they themselves actually push themselves harder to become better players. Let's lead by example. Let's guide. And with this, hoping to see in the next 2 years, Lady Cranes actually winning more tournaments, competing highly against teams like Kenya, South Africa, Tunisia, because right now Madagascar is one of the teams to beat. But then also, as a rugby community, especially the Uganda Rugby Union, to support women's rugby more, involve us in more tournaments to help us grow as players, and then also to ensure that the Women's Rugby League is more robust and more competitive in a way. And then also, even fans, we need the support of the fans. Basically, it's the rugby community that will help the women's rugby in Uganda grow. And that's something I would love to see before I actually retire from ladies rugby. Thank you.